What's up? It's your Chic Mortgage Millennial coming to you with a video about some mortgage things. So I've been trying to record a video for maybe a week and hopefully this works out. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the audio is fine. I'm using my camera for the first time in a long time, but let's just get it started. It is the first video of the year. Happy New Year, yay. And I'm just so excited about where this YouTube channel is going. You know, I get a lot of great feedback. Thank you all so much. And today I'm just gonna kind of give you all a review of the year. Review of 2020 and some of my goals and things for 2021. Last year, where was the mortgage industry? Where were things? I mean, it was all good just a year ago. Who would have thought that this pandemic would have lasted this long? We're in February. Last year in February, everything was open. Like, we heard a little bit about, you know, this pandemic, well, not pandemic, we heard a little bit about this virus, but things were not shut down. Things did not shut down until March. In the mortgage industry, at first, everybody was like, oh my gosh, is the mortgage industry about to crash? What's gonna happen? Are we gonna lose money? What do we need to do? Start changing career fields? What is going on? But, I mean, the mortgage industry eventually started booming. So, I mean, that's a good thing, but of course the pandemic was a terrible thing. Last year when I was in quarantine, in May, I was like lying in the bed and, you know, just trying to think of different things that I could do to better myself. And the thought, Chic Mortgage Millennial, came to mind. So I pretty much was like, oh my goodness, what should I do with it? What should I do with Chic Mortgage Millennial? I love the name because I wanted to start trying to brand myself. The mortgage industry, I felt like it was kind of set in its old ways, and, you know, how do I say this? It really isn't diverse. Like, there aren't a lot of millennials, I feel, who are rocking the mortgage industry on the mortgage side. Real estate, yes, you know, but I wanted to educate people about mortgages. So I was like, Chic Mortgage Millennial. I went and I, you know, got the Instagram page, the Twitter page, or the Twitter handle. I got a Gmail, and I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. I also changed my name on YouTube to Chic Mortgage Millennial. But I really didn't think that it was gonna, you know, grow into this. So I'm really excited. I've been doing mortgages for almost, well, 5 years, but I've been in banking about to be 10 years. So I started in 2011, officially, like fresh out of college, working with Wells Fargo. And then my mom, she was in the mortgage industry my entire life. So before, it was all about just kind of getting referrals and, you know, networking with realtors, but I never really thought of bringing it to social media. So when I did that, it was pretty interesting. At first, my followers were growing a little bit, and I'm like, okay, 300 followers. People care about what I have to say. And then now I'm at 1,400, so that's good for me. I mean, we're growing a little bit here and there. When I first started my mortgage page, I wanted to kind of set myself apart because I know that a lot of realtors that I follow who are in my age range, you know, they're all about their photo shoots, power poses, you know, come buy a house. And I'm not really that type. Like, I don't really do photo shoots every week, if you haven't noticed, and, you know, all these different graphics. I just wanted to educate millennials, educate the people about the mortgage industry. And I really don't even post my closings like that because on the mortgage side, you'll kind of understand it's a little bit different. Like, the real estate agents, they're the face of the organization and the transaction. At the end, the clients, they're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. And the realtors are like, yes, I helped my person buy a home, walk them from beginning to end. And then the loan officers are like, okay, deuces, out my face, bye. Thanks so much for what you do. But we don't really get all of the recognition and the praise and all of that stuff anyway. And I was so used to the mortgage, the loan officer, the lender being the bad guy. So, you know, when it's closing, sometimes I might get a photo, or, you know, sometimes I might not. You know, it just depends. If you are in the industry, you know, it's like we're not in it for the money and the fame. Well, no, we're in it for the money, but not the fame. So on my page, I rarely post you know, my clients. I love them, but I just want to educate people about mortgages. So I'm going to continue to do that. Something else I started doing last year was trying to be more organized. I started using CRM, customer relationship management tools, right? Yeah. So I started using more so those tools that are available. Most lenders have them, but then there are third-party CRMs that you might want to have set up. That way, if you move from another company to another company, you already have your contact information. But it's just something that I never thought to do, or tracking how many loans I'm closing. My goal has I've always had a goal, but just being more diligent of tracking my information outside of Excel. So the CRM that I use is Pipedrive. Look it up, Pipedrive. And I like it so far. I can create my own milestones and move them. So these are the clients who've been pre-approved. These are the clients who've been conditionally approved, got a contract, you know, closed. And it kind of just makes all the graphs and all of the data for me. So I've been using that a lot. That way I can actually see how good I'm doing, because things are going good. Another thing that I started doing last year was just trying to network a little bit more through social media. Prior to, it was more so referral based. So you might not see a lot of, if you measure the amount of loan officers that you see compared to the amount of real estate agents that you see on social media, like the number is astronomical probably. But you don't really see a lot of loan officers. And a lot of times, because they're older too, a lot of the ones who dominate the industry, they don't use social media. It's like, if you know, you know. So I never thought to branch out and just have a mortgage related social media, but it's been helpful. I try to make videos here and there, as you all can see. I try to post information, kind of just show a little bit of my personality, and I think it's going well. I follow so many real estate agents. It's just so funny. Like I said, they're the power pose, like photo shoots all the time. But, you know, I'm just trying to throw some tips out there and just be myself, right? Chic Mortgage Millennial. Let's talk about some of the things that I'm trying to do this year. This year, I just want to be more organized. I have a planner, right? I buy planners all of the time, but this planner is a special planner because I'm going to use it. I've been using it every day, and I'm proud of myself because every day you do so much work. But as far as tracking, okay, what did you really do? What did you accomplish today? How did you organize your day? People say they're going to do those things, but once you actually write down your different milestones once I started writing my milestones in this planner, it's just been very helpful. So every day I write out the number of pre-approvals that I sent out. I write down the name of the client. I write down the referral source. So if they already have a realtor, write down the realtor's name. I write down the amount that they're pre-approved for. And then I feel like doing that will help me kind of keep track of the average of pre-approvals that I do each day. But also how long it takes for those clients to actually get under contract. Before, I was keeping it more so in my head. Well, I really wasn't tracking it. It was like I'm just sending out all these pre-approvals, and then when they come back, I'm like, okay, cool, you got a house. But I feel like writing it down is going to help me be a lot more organized when it comes to follow-ups and things like that. So I write down pre-approvals. The next thing that I write down is contracts. Whenever I receive a contract, and I write down the amount of the contract. Of course, it's going to be different from the pre-approval amount most of the time. So I'm not speaking, French or whatever. The amount would be the sales price that they negotiated, offer accepted. This is the amount that they're going under contract for. Write that down, write down the client's name, and I write down the estimate closing date. So the reason I do this is because a lot of times I will look at contracts and I'll be like, now you know. Right now, the average turnaround time, I tell people, is about 30 to 35 days. Some people is 40 days. Some people, if you go to a bank, it might be 60 days. So on the front end, I tell people, 30 to 40 days, depending on the situation, depending on the loan program, or average, I might tell them 30 to 35 days. But do I get 30 days minimum? Do I get 30 days on a contract typically? No, I don't. I don't know. It's just a thing. You're real estate agents. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't listen to us. But I want to make sure that I'm noting down, one, what is the closing date in my journal, because I want to make sure that I reach out to the realtor, let them know, what would be realistic, that they might need an extension, so that way we're on the same page, because I like having those conversations on the front end. So that's something that I write down. I also write down closing dates, but I only write I said closing dates on the binding contract section, but I only write down closing dates the week of. So that's going to be something I'm going to do, because when you put it in the future and you have all of these closing dates, you're going to be scratching out all day long. Unfortunately, yes, we do want to close loans on time, but in today's market, things have just been really all over the place. So typically what I say is that after clear to close, that's when we can schedule closing, which is what most lenders should say and prepare their clients for. So now when I know that, okay, I have this amount of closings this week, I can also map out my week and, put the closings for that week instead of trying to plan far, far ahead. I can do that through my computer. So those are just some of the things that I try to write down every day. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, another things that I write down is if I have like a meeting, like I have networking events that I might have to go to, or now with, what's it called? All these different things, Clubhouse. So Clubhouse, like somebody wants me to do something on Clubhouse, so I have that, I'll write those down. Or if I have a Zoom call, had a Zoom call with a team, just different important dates. Of course, want to make sure I write those down too. So when I look at my week, I know everything that I have to do, and I'm not just keeping it all in my brain, even though I've done that for many years, but I'm actually gonna write in this, because how many people get these planners and then they start writing in it, but they stop? I have so many that, they didn't make it through the whole year. But this planner, we're gonna get through the whole year, I promise. Another thing that I started doing is I used to be the queen of sticky notes on my desk. I don't know why I would do that, but ever since I have a 2-year-old, so it's just not gonna work anymore. I would just write down, if I'm doing calculations, I'll write it on a sticky note, or if I'm doing anything that comes to mind, because I feel like if I don't write it down, it didn't happen. I bought this little, it's just a journal, but it says home is where the heart is. And since I do mortgages, I was like, oh, let me get this. So this is my sticky notes. Okay, because sometimes my son, he'll take sticky notes, rip them up, throw them away, or maybe I just can't find them. But any calculation that I do or any note that I take for a transaction, I'm going to keep it in this binder. Yes, I have several journals on my desk, but I'm going to be organized with just using this one journal, because it's all about organization. If I calculated someone's income or did some rates, rate pricing calculations, now I don't have to be like, oh my goodness, where's that sticky note? Where did I put it? And then I have to recalculate it, or if I'm recalculating any calculations. We do calculations all day long, so this is gonna be my calculation notes book, and it's been helpful because I can just put, the client's last name somewhere near all of my etches and sketches, and then I can know, okay, this was her income calculation, or this was her, pricing. Those are most of the calculations that we do. Some things I might just do, some things I might do on my calculator too. I'll just write those amounts in. Like if I did calculations for escrow, taxes, insurance, what would be needed, blah, 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 blah. Any of those calculations, I'm just gonna jot them down in this book instead of wasting sticky notes, and then also continue to use my CRM tools, keep track of my closings, and be organized, right? That is all I have to talk to you about today. It's funny, I recorded an entire video last week and I had makeup on my, well, I had lipstick on my teeth the whole time because the devil is busy. I was like, let me go ahead and do a video today. I'm gonna try to do more consistent videos. Hopefully this video turns out good because I'm using my camera and I bought a mic. I don't know how the audio is gonna sound. I was doing some tests, but I just got tired of doing all the tests. So hopefully it doesn't sound a hot mess. I might have to get another mic, who knows? But we're growing every day, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, all of those fun things, and I'll be back to you with another mortgage video.